Good evening, I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor, and it's currently Wednesday, April 1st. April Fool's Day. What a surprise. It's really not. At least no fools today. Again, I'm here to do the daily recap of things that really affect how you get, protect, and enjoy your money, life, and retirement. And again, I'll be doing these for a while to see what happens as things go on with this COVID situation, because it's really affecting everybody. I'll post the links to this video in YouTube, also on my channel, The Real Money Doctor, and I'll have some rather interesting links to go along and support some of the things that we discuss on the show today. So yesterday it was confirmed by both Dr. Bricks and Dr. Fauci that at a bare minimum, best case scenario, bare minimum, there are going to be at least 100,000 deaths in this country. That's more than in World War II. Okay. The numbers are absolutely staggering. The president took a little bit different tone yesterday, and it looks as though people are taking this a little bit more seriously. Now, they were hoping to get the U.S. on track, more on the South Korean track than on the Italy track. However, with the way things are going, we're closer to the Italy track of things. And Italy had 12% died. 12% of the people that got infected with COVID-19 in Italy died. In South Korea, it was only 1.7%. What was the difference? Italy ignored it for quite a while. We ignored it for quite a while. It was basically 6 weeks before the president came on board, actually was serious about things and admitted there was a problem. South Korea, they picked it up immediately. Everybody got tested almost immediately. Everybody started wearing masks. Everybody did social distancing almost immediately. They cut this thing down, and their death rate was only 1.7%, which is still a lot, but it's a whole lot better than 12% in Italy right now. Now, right now, the U.S. cases are over 213,000 right now. Okay. That's a 27,000 jump from yesterday at this time. In 24 hours, we picked up another 27,000 cases. The deaths so far today are, or total anyway, are over 4,600. That's 1,000 people died from yesterday to today. Total deaths are 4,600. That's over 2%. So we've got an over 2% death rate already. The number of people recovered, basically 8,500, which is, nice news, but it doesn't help too much. The epicenter is still New York City, without a doubt in the world. New York City is where everything is happening. New York State is the big place. 84,000 cases right now, total. Of those, basically 1,900 deaths. That's a 2.31% died. Okay. Of that number, 11,000 of them, 1,100 of them, were in New York City by itself. And the peak is not expected to get there for another 14 to 21 days. Okay, they're scampering around. They're not having a good time by a lot. And New Jersey is number 2. They had 22,000 cases. 355 deaths so far, total. Okay, their numbers are jumping up. The first ER doctor died from COVID. The first U.S. ER doctor died from COVID in New Jersey today. And what's happening in New York State and New York City is happening in the rest of the country. New York State and New York City were the first ones to get hit because of their density. However, the same numbers are happening in every other city and every other state is probably about 2, 3, or 4 weeks behind. So whatever's happening there, it's going to happen in your neighborhood too at some point in time. Now, the next hot spots seem to be New Orleans, Detroit, and Chicago. Okay. Healthcare people on the front line are exposed every minute of every workday. They're getting sick. They're getting physically stressed out. The hours are phenomenal. 10, 12, 13-hour shifts. Okay. 4 or 5 shifts in a row, 4 or 5 days in a row, 6 days in a row. When they get off, they're afraid to go home. They're living in apartments and in cars because they don't want to infect their family. They're mentally stressed from the sheer volume of the people that they have to treat. and the severity of their illness. Normally, in a hospital setting, you might intubate somebody, put a tube down their throat so they can breathe, and put them on a ventilator once or twice a day, maybe. Maybe. Right now, they're doing it 2, 3, 4 times a shift. That's a lot of sick people. And that's only getting worse. Now, more and more cities and states are issuing stay-at-home orders. They're finally starting to catch on. Not everybody, though. Just got a report, 70 people from Austin, 70 kids, basically, from Austin, spring break for the college. Okay, they chartered a plane to go down to Mexico. 70 of them, no problem, young, youthful, no problem at all. Go, 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 nothing's going to happen to me, it's somebody else's problem. Well, 28% of them right now have COVID. 28%, or 28 of them, of the 70 have COVID. Okay, social distancing is there for a reason. Okay, you need to physically distance yourself from somebody else. Okay, you can't have groups of people. You're just asking for trouble. The Defense Production Act is in place for ventilators, for nothing else. Okay, the governor is still having a terrible time trying to get materials and supplies, and they end up competing against each other. They have contracts, and then they're expecting delivery, and all of a sudden, the last minute when they're expecting the delivery, it got pulled from either another state or from FEMA, who outbid them on things. Okay, you can't run anything like that. Okay, you can't run a country like that. You can't run a national disaster like that. Okay, the testing is still so far behind, it's absolutely ridiculous. You need a coordinated federal response to the full supply chain. Testing is not getting to where it needs to be. They've got cute little toys. That's great. Abbott came up with a great test. Okay, they don't have enough of these things out. Okay, the USS Teddy Roosevelt in Guam, one of our Navy ships. Okay, they have a number of positive cases, COVID cases. 4,800 sailors are at risk. They can't social distance. It's impossible to do that on a ship. If you were never in the Navy, you might not know that it's not uncommon when you're off your shift to go to bed, and it's called a hot rack. The other guy that shares the bed with you, he gets up and he does his shift as you come off and do yours. Social distancing is practically impossible to do on board a ship. Now, the Defense Production Act needs absolutely full implementation. If the president wants to call us a war, that's fine. It probably is. But in a war, you've got military specialists that know how to run his logistics. Okay, he doesn't have them in the administration right now. This is a disaster. Okay, you need military people who understand how to run the logistics to take over this whole supply chain situation. They can do this. This is what they're trained to do. They've got years of experience doing it. Okay? The president doesn't. Sorry. Okay, and neither does anybody else on stage with him. You need military people who understand how to move materials and supplies and how to get them to where they need to go, how to coordinate everything. That needs to be done. The social distancing is great, okay, and he extended it to April 30th, but it needs to be a national stay-at-home order. He's still hedging, saying, well, some states, yes, some states, no, the states can do it themselves. Our population moves around so much that if you got 4 or 5 states locked down and one doesn't, you can guarantee at some point in time that people in the one that's not locked down yet, they're going to get sick. And you're just delaying the inevitable, and you're just extending this entire thing out more and more and more. Now, more and more people are out of work. Okay, nasty numbers last week, 2.2, 2.3 million. Okay, this week is going to be worse. Probably double is what they're looking at. As people are out of work, they also end up losing their health care. Well, the Trump administration refused to open up the Obamacare exchanges during the COVID-19 pandemic. They refused to open up the exchanges. They were closed down in December. They won't open them up again. Some individual states like New York and California, who understand the severity of what's going on, they've opened them up for their people, okay, to extend the enrollment period so that at least you've got some type of health care situation. the possibility of universal masking has just been lightly talked about. Okay. Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brooks already acknowledged well over 100,000 deaths in the absolute best case scenario. Dr. Fauci also acknowledged today that there's going to be a second wave. In the fall, there's going to be a second wave. And the eventual long-term goal of this, the best thing that they can do long-term, is to get a vaccine. Could be like a polio vaccine. I don't know what happens. But to get some type of vaccine for this, that's in the works. You're not going to see that for another 18 months at least, though. 12 to 18 months. So for the immediate next few weeks, next month or two, next 3 months, okay, people are out on their own. Okay. The Dow was down another 973 points today. What a surprise. Okay. Yes, some individual stocks are doing okay, but overall, okay, as the death numbers roll in, as the unemployment numbers go up, the stock market is going to go down. There is no doubt about it. Now, how does all that really affect you? Okay. And right now, you're having a financial crisis as well as a healthcare crisis. As more and more people are out of work, it's going to happen more. You're going to get more people out of work. As more people are dying, that number is going to increase. You've got three main concerns at this point in time: your money, your health, and your personal responsibility to yourself and to your family, as well as the community. The federal relief payments are been processed, basically. Okay, they signed the $2 trillion act, $2.2 trillion act a week ago. That's great, but there's no money out yet. They've extended unemployment benefits, but people have a hell of a time trying to apply for them. The lines are jam-packed. Okay, if you don't have health insurance, you got to call your state. Find out what programs they have available for you. Got to try and contact your state. If you're unemployed, keep staying on those lines. You got to get your unemployment insurance in. Okay, you need some money somewhere along the line. The stimulus package, it's been passed. That's great, but watch out for the scams. I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again today. Okay, the IRS, the states, okay, do not email you, do not call you, asking you to verify your information to apply for benefits. Okay. Now, I will provide a link in my YouTube channel when I post this video. There'll be a link there with, if you haven't filed your tax return yet, how to apply for the benefits to make sure that the IRS has your information. Only go to an IRS site. Nobody else's site. Only to the IRS site. It's an irs.gov site. I'll give you the link. It'll be in my YouTube channel when I post a video. There's a number of scams out there already. They're going to continue. Be careful. I just saw one today. They're sending out phony checks. Okay, so it's not only in the phones. It's not only in the internet. They're doing hard mail copy. Okay, so watch out for the scams. Again, your stimulus package, you're going to get some money, probably, most likely, but check in with the IRS site. It's the only place to go. Now, they've also got a small business situation where some small businesses can apply. If you've had payroll and you had payroll before this happened, the small business loans are there primarily for you so you can keep your employees on and keep paying them. Turn off the news for a while. Just turn off the news. There is so much going on and actually nothing going on all at the same time. Everybody's whipping this up. Yes, there's a national problem. Without a doubt in the world, there is a national problem. It's getting worse. However, you listening to it 24/7 is not going to help you at all. All you do is get angry, you get frustrated, you get scared. Mainly because you have no control over what's going on. You can't get concerned with things you can't control. All you do is you burn up your energy. Accept the fact that this is going to last for a while. It's going to last at least another month, maybe 2, maybe 3, I don't know. But it's not going to be over in a week or 2. And again, this is already projected out to April 30th. Okay. Chances are by then it's going to go to May or June. I don't know that for a fact, but just the way the numbers are looking, that's what it looks like. Now, what can you do? What can you do right now? Because at some point in time, you're probably going to come out on the other side of this thing. You really are. Most people are going to come out on the other side of this thing. And right now, you need to really rethink what your plan A is. How's that been working for you? Chances are, right this period of time, it's not working at all. So you have to supplement your plan A with a plan B. Something that puts you back in control of your money and your life. Very important. You've got a little downtime now. Give that some thought. Okay, what can you do? Okay, as some type of side job. Okay, more of a side business than a side job. Okay, that you are in control of that job, that business yourself. You have money coming in, no matter what happens out here to your plan A job. You still have income coming in because you've got a plan B business. That's really critical for you. Now's the time to do something about that. Now, what do you need to do right now? That's what you should be doing. What do you need to do now? Now's the time that if you go out at all, to make certain you've got a mask on. There is no question about that. Any responsible doctor, when they go out, they have a mask on. You should have a mask on. You don't need to buy masks. Okay? If you've got some around the house, that's great. Chances are you're not going to find them in the store, or you're going to pay some exorbitant amount of money for them. You don't need to. Okay, there's a number of homemade masks that you can make out of paper towels, dishcloths, coffee filters, tons of things. I'm going to give you some links, some things that I found that were interesting that you can do. Take you 5-10 minutes or something or other. You don't need to physically sew things. A little glue gun, a little tape, you're all set. Now, understand, the virus doesn't move itself. People move the virus. If people don't move, the virus stops moving. Stay at home. The president, for some reason, is reluctant, okay, to put a national shutdown in effect. There's still governors in a number of states that have refused to do it. Pennsylvania, I'm living in Pennsylvania. I'm right outside of Philadelphia, and the governor does not have a stay-at-home order yet. He's got some restrictions, but it's not a full stay-at-home order yet. So there's still governors that haven't done it. Okay, be responsible for yourself and to your neighbors when you go out. Make sure you wear a mask. Now, don't engage in group activities. Don't have COVID in balcony parties. There are a number of people still having COVID in balcony parties. Don't do that. When you have to go out for essentials, okay, groceries, pharmacies, routine hospital visits, wear a mask. Keep that social distancing. Again, don't change your behavior to avoid infection. Change your behavior, okay, assume you're infected. Just assume you're infected and change your behavior to avoid transmission to somebody else. Now, I found an interesting link today. I'm going to post it in the YouTube channel on how to COVID-proof your house. Some things you may or may not be doing, but it'll give you some guidelines as to things you can do to keep your house as sanitary as possible, okay, and how you interact with the rest of the world at this point in time, because the world hasn't stopped. It may seem like it stopped, but it hasn't stopped. Now, understand that right now, there's a 40% chance that you're going to get COVID at some point in time, in the next month or two. Also understand that there's a 98% chance that you'll recover from it. So it's not a death sentence. There's a 40% chance you're going to get it, but there's a 98% chance that you're going to recover from it and be okay. However, with 100,000 deaths projected right now at a best case scenario, the bare minimum, 100,000 deaths projected right now, it might be a good idea to do some planning. Okay, just as I've been telling people for years that the stock market crashes every 7 to 10 years. And when it does, it could take up to 16 years to come back to break even. Okay. That same planning attitude should go to you personally. Okay, some things you need to do right now before you get sick and end up scampering around going crazy. You need to do 3 really, really important things right now. While you have the time, while your family's still together, while you still have reasonable conversations that are not under pressure. Okay, you need a living will. Living will is something relatively simple. It lets the doctors know what you want done with you while you're in the hospital and what you don't want done. Do you want IVs? Do you want to be intubated and put on a ventilator? Some people just refuse to. Some people are older and they said, no, I don't want to play like that. Just let me go. But you need to have that written down. You need to have the discussion with your family about those things and get that paperwork done and have that with you, okay, when you go into the hospital. Have it available, okay, to another family member. Okay. Now, you need a durable power of attorney. Durable power of attorney means that if you're incapacitated, that somebody else can handle your financial and legal affairs. If you're in a hospital for a month and you're on a ventilator for a week or two, you're not writing too many checks. You're not paying too many bills. Okay, you've got other responsibilities for you and your family that somebody can take care of. You need a durable power of attorney for that. And the last thing, you need a will. Now, a will is only there for one reason. It transfers the title of things. So if you don't own anything, if you have a checking account with $1,000 in it, it's not a real big deal. However, if you own a piece of real estate, you need a will. If you own anything that has any substance to it, you need a will. Now, things like IRAs and life insurance, pensions, they transfer automatically by contract. When you signed up for those things, okay, you already named a beneficiary for those things. Same thing with life insurance. You named a beneficiary already. They don't need to be included in your will because once you put that contract together with the insurance company, whoever's holding your 401k plan, okay, you named a beneficiary at that point in time. Should something happen to you, the money is already designated to go to someplace else. You may want to check to make certain those are places where you want it to go at this point in time. Now, the other thing you want to do right now also is to have a book someplace, a little 3x5 binder, nothing fancy, just a 1-inch binder, 1-inch 3x5 binder with your living will in it, with your durable POA in it, your power of attorney, and your last will in there. You want that somewhere where somebody else knows if there's a problem with me, go to this place, get this binder, it has all the papers in it. Now I'm also going to include in the link a link to something else I put together a few years ago. It will list all your assets basically, all your assets and important contacts, and you'll have that in one place also. That's also very handy because if somebody doesn't know what's going on, who's your doctor, who's your lawyer, okay, where are they at, how do I contact them, who's your physician, okay, all the information should be in one place. Should something happen to you, someone that you care for and cares for you can go to one place and get all the information and keep you pretty much on track and handle your affairs should something happen. Now, okay, you need to do all that now. You need to do that now while you still have time to have discussions, because a power of attorney, medical POA or living will, okay, that brings up uncomfortable discussions, uncomfortable thoughts for a lot of people. Now, everybody's going to die. It's just part of the life, but nobody likes to talk about it. So you really want to make sure that you have that discussion in a calm, relaxed manner, okay, when everybody's still healthy and can make reasonable decisions. Now, be responsible for your own behavior. That's part of it. That's being responsible for you and being responsible for your family. Now, in that same vein, right now, again, you're social distancing quite hopefully. Most people are at this point in time. Be nice. Check on your neighbors and family. People used to text. It was terrible. They just, the nose and the thing and the thumbs are going. Call. They want to hear your voice. Okay. Video calls are even better. They like to see your face. Okay. We'll get through this. Again, there's a 98% chance that should you get sick, you're going to recover from this. But that 2% chance, that's a chance you don't want to take. So, do what you can right now. Everybody's really coming together in a nice way. If you do your part and everybody else does their part, okay, it'll be okay. The states need to shut down. There needs to be a national shutdown. Okay, and everybody understands that even if there's only 100 cases in my state right now, today, that a month, 2 months from now, that could easily be up to 4,000 or 5,000 or 20,000. So have some responsibility. If you go out, wear a mask. Okay, try and maintain your sanity. Don't live inside the news bubble. You'll go absolutely crazy. There's nowhere for you to go with that. There's no winning in that situation. You need 5 to 10 minutes to find out what crazy things are happening in the world and understand that, oh, yep, that happened. I can't do anything about it. I need to concentrate on myself and my family, and you need to get those things in place. The will, the power of attorney, okay, the living will, your medical directive, basically. You need to think about, when this is all over, how are you going to come out on the other side? What's your plan B? What type of business can you start that you can control yourself and control your future? If you've got kids in the house, they've been in there for a while right now. Schools are starting to get internet materials out to everybody, but there's still, a lot of people who don't have internet access. So what do you do with the kids now? I provided some links in my YouTube channel for some things that you can do with the kids, even if school is not providing any information at this point in time. So again, check the YouTube channel. There'll be some interesting links in there for the medical power of attorney, the will, and the living will, along with some things for kids to do. If you got small kids at home, my wife, Dr. Terry, does her bedtime reading at 7:30. Take a peek at that. Sign up for that. Go over there. Nothing to do. Just go on Facebook, and she's there. And she has a good time with that. And Gus, our pup, is generally crashes at the party on more than one occasion. And she'll be happy to see you there. Again, I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor, and I'm here to help you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. I'm glad you were here today. Go on my YouTube channel, The Real Money Doctor. Like and share the video. The links there are phenomenal. Lots of good stuff in there that will help you. And again, I post new links every day. So just keep checking back in there every day. There'll be a new video every day and new links. So thanks for being here, and I look forward to seeing you there. Like and share the videos, and I will see you tomorrow around 7 o'clock. Thank you. Bye now.